we live in a society that is a capitalist society. So like bills have to get paid. And so many of us, even if we don't want to, we have to plan it. My question to you was, what was the moment that you realized, I don't need all the money in the world to be happy?
I was going to say 2020 when you were talking about like, when was the moment you're like, I don't need all this, but actually it happened before. So part of me doing this job, working with that woman, I ended up taking a trip by myself. And it was the first time I ever did a solo trip. And everyone in my family was like, where are you going? Like by yourself? And Latino families just don't like you traveling by yourself, which I understand, but I wanted to go to Guatemala and I ended up going and I found this like volunteer group to go with. And it was going into this place in Guatemala, to a poorer place, a more like rundown place, to build a water well. And then what I figured out when I got to the volunteer group was that everyone was white but me. And so they're like, oh my God, like you can be our translator. And I'm like, okay. And so we end up going and we're with all these Guatemalan kids and they're all looking at me like, what are you doing here? Lexi, when I tell you they were serious, they looked at me and they're like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, what do you mean you're not excited to see me? And they're like, but there's never any like Central Americans that come to it's usually the gringos. Oh, and they're like, but if your parents immigrated, why are you coming back? Like, don't come back. And I was like, this was the first time my eyes were opening. I'm like, oh my God, they're so used to seeing the white savior, right? That kind of like American coming into their lands and helping rebuild. And what's funny is that the kids are telling me that water that they're about to build is so nasty. Another like group, another like neighborhood has it. And like that water, like no one drinks that water. And I'm like, wait, you guys don't even want this? But that week spent with them, like I could cry thinking about how much they changed my life, because I just realized that like no one's talking to them. Like these people come into their lands and they build, and it's another form for me of colonization, of like going into someone else's land and building and trying to make it better because how they live is not okay. And they're actually so happy. They're abundant. And one of the things I learned throughout that trip was one of the kids was telling me, like we used to be so close to that family in that house, but she's like, but they changed. And I was with the little girl and her mom was like, yeah, their kids moved to America, to the United States, and they made a lot of money. They started sending money back. And now they built this like little, like nice, like bigger house. And now they have this and this and that. And I asked them like a real question. I'm like, you're happy in your house, aren't you? Like you just love your house. And she's like, of course, it's my house. Like I worked for this.